And welcome back, folks, live from Total Escape Games in Broomfield, Colorado. This is the semifinals of the X-Wing Store Championship. I'm John Stevens, joined in the booth this round by Adam Katnig of Back to Dials. Producer Joe has your pretty pictures for you here. In this semifinal match, we've got Jim Frank playing some Scum and Villainy. What do we got, Adam?
We got Fen Rao with Push the Limit Conquerdon and Auto Thrusters. Saz Ventress with Push the Limit Gonk and Engine Upgrade. Followed by a Jakku Gunrunner with Tactician and Tractor Array.
So talk to me about Jim's strategy. What does he want to do here?
Well, it's looking like it's so weird seeing the Jakku Gunrunner.
I don't even know what that flies.
So that's the tugboat.
Oh, okay.
What is that called? I'm spacing right now.
And on the other side of the table here for player 2, we have Tom Arnold flying the Imperials.
Yep, looks like we've got Colonel Vessery with Expertise, the TIE X7 title, Twin Ion Engine Mark II, and Backdraft with Lightweight Frame, Prime Thrusters, Special Ops Training, Fire Control Systems, and Adaptability. Omega Leader with Juke Hull Upgrade and Comms Reload. Not many hull upgrades we see nowadays.
I was about to say I've seen it twice today, but the first time I saw it was Tom Arnold. So I've seen it once today on the same player list twice. We are set for the semifinals here. Jim Frank versus Tom Arnold playing for the right to find their way into my final matchup today. As these players are setting their dials for turn 1, what are we expecting to see, Adam?
Well, I assume that Fen Rao is going to do Fen Rao things, try and get range 1 in arc. We're off to start already.
And we are starting with a 2-bank maneuver there.
It's from the quad jumper. I just remembered. That's what it's called. It's quad
Yes,
jumper.
it's a quad jumper. That's right.
It's like the tugboat. I just call it the tugboat.
And focus token. Colonel Vessery with a 2 straight maneuver here.
It's interesting seeing Tom starting some of his ships in the middle. Haven't seen that very often.
And a focus token on Vessery.
All right, and then we've got that TIE fighter in the top coming down towards the center of the mat. Tom trying to get his TIE fighters. Oh, well, I guess he's not getting them together. We've got a barrel roll, keeping that one separated. Bringing up the next TIE fighter. I think that one was Omega Leader.
That should be Omega Leader there, making a barrel roll to the left for us here.
Ooh, got some fancy range rulers being handed out.
There are some fancy range rulers there.
And that is for being in top 8, I believe, or is that one in the top 4?
Those are the top 4.
That was top 4. Fancy.
That is a 2 straight maneuver there.
Going up. Fen Rao breaking off to the right. Looks like trying to bring Asajj down to join the Jakku Gunrunner. Maybe tractor beam some ships.
That Asajj Ventress we've seen a couple of times today. It's a slightly different setup than I saw recently. I didn't see Gonk last time.
Yeah, usually I see Gonk on Dengar or Jumpmaster or something like that.
So round 1 ends with no combat. The players are, as we like to say around here, back to dials. Reminder that this presentation today is brought to you by Back to Dials and Total Escape Games. I'm John Stevens for Adam Katnig and Joe Mazzotti. Tom Arnold, Jim Frank planning out turn 2 here. What are we expecting to see right now?
Well, we're going to have some nice X-Wing combat. It's a 3-ship on 3-ship list. Omega Leaders when are going to come in and take that target lock, do Omega Leader things.
Where does Omega Leader want to put that target lock?
Well, if I were Omega Leader, I would probably put that on... I mean, that's a tough choice.
Who is the ship that Tom has to take off this table first, in your opinion?
Probably Fen Rao, simply because, before Fen has the chance to really get in and basically be the missile that Fen Rao is generally built out to be, come in at range 1, throw a bunch of red dice at you, and then usually blow up. And try and blow him up before he gets all those red dice out at you.
And on the other side, Jim Frank, what is he seeing across the table when he looks at Tom's list? Who does he need to kill first?
Oof. I don't really like any of those ships. You could probably pick any of them, because the defenders, they're just so... They do defender things, especially with the TIE X7. You do a fast maneuver, you get that evade action. It makes it hard to get hit, and expertise, throwing out a lot of the damage with the focus and everything. I honestly would just say pick the first one that gets up in your firing arc. But then again, I'm not in the top 4, so why are you listening to me?
And Tom was our only undefeated player through the Swiss today. He's had a very good day with a list that, when I look at it, doesn't really have a goal. It's fun ships that do cool things, but they don't really work as a cohesive, we want to do the same thing together unit. Do they?
Not that I see. It seems more that they're all kind of self good at things.
That is a reverse from that quad jumper. And, of course, a stress token there.
It's a red reverse remover.
Colonel Vessery with a 2-bank maneuver here. Or 3-bank maneuver, excuse me, to the right there. Looks like he's going to go meet up with Omega Leader here.
Yeah, it looks like Tom is starting to hone in on Asajj.
But Asajj is pointed downwards.
Yeah,
sometimes I can't tell with the waffle iron.
Well, yeah. But, maybe trying to come up around to the rear of that ship. Probably just try and take down ships one by one as opposed to going against a few at the same time.
We are waiting on actions from Asajj, I believe.
Yeah, we got the options of the... Oh, is that a gonk?
We got a gonk.
Got a gonk. Yeah, I got more actions than usual. We got the, you can move the... I can't think of words today. The mobile firing arc. Any of the other standard actions are gonk.
And we have a gonk so far. We could push the limit here for a second one. Jim will push the limit. Or no push the limit is what Jim Frank says there. Oh, Mega Leader with a 3-bank. You could be correct. It looks like maybe he wants to chase Asajj Ventress around this table counterclockwise.
He's got those square evade tokens. It's weird seeing square ones.
2 straight there. I actually love Tom's tokens. The evade tokens are square. Focus tokens are round. It's super easy to tell from 10 feet up in the ceiling.
That's true. It's nice from our view. Instead of, he put a green thing down.
Backdraft with a short move forward, followed by a barrel roll to the left there for his action. Another round passes with no combat.
We
still have to move Fen. Another round will pass with no combat.
It almost looks as if Jim is going to have his ships all go together. Maybe kind of posing both sides as bait, so whichever one they take, Have that one go the fastest, and then once ships are all kind of together, then you turn in and fire everything you got at it.
Contemplating actions here.
A lot of action economy on that Fen Rao as well. Also push the limit. Could boost, could barrel roll, focus, evade. I forget if Fen has target lock or not. It's been a long day here at Total Escape Games.
It's been a short day. I got here at 8 o'clock this morning. 8:30.
Relatively, I suppose, compared to our normal tournament.
Yes, compared to regionals. Players are back to dials here. We went through 2 turns without any combat. Oh, no. We're still on actions. Jim Frank has made a barrel roll.
Staying close to the Jakku Gunrunner.
And that ends the second turn with no combat whatsoever. Are we going to see combat in turn 3?
Hard to tell. I think maybe. Simply just because those ties can't go very slow. So they've got to get up there at some point here. Done a very good. Tom's done a very good job of spacing them out. So it's taking them longer to kind of hit that combat, but therefore when they do hit the combat, they'll be ready.
And he's made it a little more difficult for Jim to pick a target as a result. They are scattered around the table right now.
Yeah, he's got the whole right side of the board there.
Set the scene for you here. This is turn 3 of the semifinals between Jim Frank and Tom Arnold. All the way at the top of your screen there is Tom Arnold's Omega Leader. Down and to the right is where you'll find Colonel Vessery. All the way lower right-hand quadrant of your screen is Backdraft, belonging to Tom. On that left-hand side, Fen Rao and the Jakku Gunrunner are hanging out lower left-hand corner of the screen. Asajj Ventress has slowly moved down the left-hand side of the board without ever appearing to want to move. Gunrunner starts us out here with a straight 3.
Yep, clear the stress.
That clears stress.
Yeah, Jim he's being very patient, not turning in to face the enemy yet. Probably waiting for the opportune time. Is that looks like a focus?
Vessery with a 3 hard left here.
Yep, just passing by that dolphin-shaped rock.
An evade token there.
Fancy square evade token.
And a barrel roll to the left here from Colonel Vessery.
Yep,
The evade token was assigned by X7, not as an action there.
Well, I guess now it is an action, but yeah, got it from the X7 title.
Asajj Ventress with a hard 3 towards the middle of the board. We might finally see some combat at him.
Oh, he is turned in. With a boost forward.
That is a boost forward. Well, now we'll definitely see some combat. Staring at Colonel Vessery there.
He's got his Gonk battery. It's got some charge on it. We are ready to rumble.
Pushing the limit here. So following that boost, we're going to get a focus and, of course, a stress token from Push the Limit. Backdraft with a 3 straight maneuver here. Can't make a barrel roll to his right. He will take a focus token on Backdraft.
Tom is also just kind of making that kill box surrounding Jim's massage.
We may see a lot of combat here. It's hard to tell because the Shadowcaster covers so much of the base, but Omega Leader may have a shot here.
Yeah, if he doesn't, it'll be just out. Man, I'm loving the top-down view, though. This is way better.
Looks gorgeous. I hate the X-Wing streams that are doing that weird three-quarters view. It's just spatially challenging.
Yeah, it's hard to see what's going on with the game with those ones.
And now he definitely has a shot.
Ah, there we go. That's right. He got the evade again from the X7 title.
Omega Leader got to keep his evade.
Oh, that's Omega. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. Yep.
Fen Rao with a long straight maneuver here.
He's going fast.
And then we're back to Fen Rao decision-making time, something that has not gone very rapidly. You talk to fellow players here in the Denver area, they'll tell you Jim Frank is a very meticulous player. Everything's very clean. Everything's very well thought out.
Yeah, with that, he usually flies Imperials, so it's a little bit of a surprise I see him flying Scum.
Everybody should only fly Imperials.
I would lose even harder.
I'm putting aces on the table. I'm coming for you. I will be at the Nerd Store. I will be at Haunted Game Cafe. 2 amazing stores in northern Colorado.
So I'm thinking, does Fen Rao want to boost here?
Possibly.
Because I almost would, but then again, that might put him at range 2, which isn't very good for Fen. He likes either range 3 with his auto thrusters or right up in your face with range 1. So I don't think the boost would really help here. So that puts him at range 2, which is not great for the next round.
Jim has picked up a fistful of tokens there, including a target lock. We'll see if he decides to play it or if he's just going to hang out with it. Looks like he would only have Omega Leader, right? Yes, target lock on Omega Leader.
It's an intense game of space chess.
Chess pieces move in a less complicated fashion.
Yeah, they do.
Just a target lock, no push the limit. We'll finally see some fighting here. Asajj is assigning a stress to Vessery at the beginning of combat. Fen Rao, range 3, obstructed at Omega Leader here. Gonna re-roll the blank with the target lock here.
Ooh, looks like
Crit focus, maybe?
I think that's a focus, yeah. Might be a third crit. It's a bit hard to see with that glare. Oh.
Spends a token and gets 1 evade. So we are no damage in that round of combat.
Yep, so that was a focus.
It is range 2 from Omega Leader to Asajj Ventress. Omega Leader with a 2-dice attack here. 2 hits on those dice. Asajj Ventress with 2 evades.
Oh.
Backdraft. Range 3. Unobstructed, it appears. Spends the focus and puts 1 hit there. Oh,
so
3
many
evades. Oh, my God.
Man, evade city.
Target lock from fire control system. Backdraft on Asajj Ventress. Colonel Vessery will shoot first because Tom Arnold has the initiative. Range 2, Colonel Vessery at Asajj Ventress. Defenders throw so many red dice.
Yeah. This one doesn't even have the cannons on it.
Oh, only 3. No expertise because of the stress. Rerolling here on the target lock from Instability. 2 hits.
Oh.
2 blanks.
There are the blanks.
2 shields come off Asajj Ventress. Down to 7 hull and 1 shield there. Tom's like, I did some damage. Little excitement there.
Hooray. Looks like range 2.
Asajj range 2 at Omega Leader here. Range 2 at Omega Leader is the decision from Jim Frank. Focusing into 2 hits there. One evade from Omega Leader. He'll lose his only shield in that exchange. No shot from that gun runner. And they are back to dials. So a very light round of combat, despite a lot of dice being thrown around.
Yeah, that's definitely what we see with when we have something like a bunch of those ties and Fen Rao there.
Asajj Ventress lost 2 shields. Omega Leader lost a shield. I feel like we threw about 45 dice and did 3 points of damage.
Yeah, it sounds about right. That's about what happens when you've got all those ships from Tom with the 3 evade plus 3 evade and
it's why I love my Imperials. I love green dice. Jim Frank, Tom Arnold, turn 4 of the semifinals. Tyson Sparks and Willie Glassman playing in our other semifinal. When we have that result, we will share it with you. But as we start turn 4, we still have a table full of ships. Nobody has lost any of the 3 ships they brought with them.
I'm wondering if Fen Rao is going to go for the range 1 in-your-face shot here. The Fen Rao missile.
Does Fen Rao turn into that Omega Leader, hoping to get that shot?
Or maybe even if he can turn in and maybe get up into a Vessery. Because Omega Leader might be a little bit too close. He might just go right past. It's probably what Jim's thinking right now. Like, what? Which one do I go for?
And if you're Tom, you have Asajj Ventress in the kill box. Is that target 1? Do you try and put everything you can on Asajj right now?
Well, that might get you the most points.
Points don't matter anymore.
Yeah. Oh,
at
that's
75
true. Points
minutes,
don't matter.
if you...
I'm so used to thinking about the points. I've never made it this far.
You're a little loud. They can hear you.
Oh, got you.
Players are planning here on turn 4. We have 2 dials down from Jim Frank. We're waiting on a Fen Rao dial from Jim, and we are waiting on nothing from Tom. Tom just doesn't like to put them anywhere near his ships, so they're scattered along the right-hand side of your screen. I'm assuming that one all the way in the far right corner is Omega. Quad jumper going 1 straight here from the Gunrunner. And a focus token. Colonel Vessery. A 1 bank to the right here. That is a green. He clears the stress, gets an action, puts a focus token down.
Whoa.
Asajj Ventress with a 3 straight. That is a green maneuver. That'll clear the stress. Asajj Ventress probably has to spend this action moving a turret, yes?
Yeah, I would assume so. I'm not sure where it's pointed right now.
It is pointed forward, I'm assuming. It has never been moved. You got to think with that Colonel Vessery right behind her, it's a tempting thing to shoot at. There goes the turret spinning to the rear arc. Of course, he does have push the limit, so we could be looking at a second. And he does push for a focus, so focus token and a stress token get placed on Asajj Ventress. Backdraft, a 2 hard to the right.
Still gonna have arc on Asajj.
Yeah, looks obstructed now, right? Isn't there a tiny little boot Italy-shaped asteroid there?
Yeah, that's the mustache rock.
The mustache rock. X-Men players, oh my god. Tom Arnold debating actions for this backdraft here.
He might be able to barrel roll to get that rock out of the way. He'd have to go left, though, I think.
Correct. I don't believe a barrel roll to the right fits in. It would have to be a left-handed barrel roll. And there is the barrel roll left. Fits in there beautifully. Omega Leader 2 bank to the right, so right in front of Fenrau there.
Ooh. Might be going for a block.
A target lock on Fenrau there. A 4 straight from Fenrau means going to move just past that Omega Leader.
Ooh.
Figure you got to see a barrel roll to break the arc, yes?
Yeah, it seemed like Jim might have anticipated the attempt to block. Or maybe thought if he doesn't block, he might be able to boost a barrel roll into a good position. But in this case, he could probably do that just to get out of that arc. Yep, there it is.
Boost to get out of the arc, which I guess is just as valid as a barrel roll here. But I like to barrel roll.
I think this way he still keeps a bit farther away from Vessery, too.
Jim Frank contemplating a second action here and using push on that Fenrau.
Yeah, maybe barrel roll to not get shot at by Vessery at all.
A barrel roll probably does, but instead we see a push for a focus token there. Asajj assigning a beginning of combat. Stress on Omega Leader. Omega Leader is just barely out of range there. So that stress token goes on Colonel Vessery instead.
Yep, it's going to be a lot harder for Vessery to remove that than it would be for something like Riyadh with the green 5K turn.
Fenrau with no shot. Omega Leader with no shot. Backdraft will be the first thing to shoot here. Out of range to Fenrau. Range 2 to Asajj Ventress from Backdraft. Rerolling with a target lock. 3 hits go, 2 crits and a hit, forgive me. 1 evade. So we're going to get a shield taken off and 1 crit. Blinded pilot. Look at that.
Ooh.
Didn't even have to hunt for it.
Yeah, didn't need Kylo Ren at all for that.
So Asajj Ventress is blinded. Colonel Vessery is next. Range 3. to Fen Rao, who has auto thrusters. Target lock to the reroll. 3 hits on Fen Rao. Auto thrusters for 2. 1 damage to Fen Rao. Down to 3 hull there. Asajj is blinded. Gets to turn that card down, but not attack. Jakku Gunship, a range 2 to Omega Leader. Oh, 2 hits. Oh. 2 damage to Omega Leader from the Jakku Gun
From
Runner.
the Gun Runner. Didn't even have to tractor beam it. Wow. Well done, Jakku Gunrunner.
So we clear some tokens here. That is the final shot of that round. Players are back to dials here. Asajj Ventress didn't attack that turn. She was a little on the blinded side. We saw Fen Rao get hit at range 3, which is a little surprising with auto thrusters. We saw Asajj Ventress take a couple of hits, including that blinded pilot.
Yeah.
I feel like Asajj Ventress only has 5 hull. Doesn't she start at 6?
No, she has 7.
She starts at 7.
She starts
so
at
6
7.
is correct. Okay.
And then 3 shields. So 10 total.
On the other
10
side,
hit points, I guess.
we saw Omega Leader take 2 damage. And Omega Leader's in a weird spot right now. Like, gonna joust the Gun Runner? Is that the plan here?
Well, I don't know if I would do that simply because the Gun Runner can tractor beam you with the tractor beam array.
So, hard right, chase Fen Rao down?
I would probably chase Fen Rao down. He's the bigger threat, even though the Gun Runner
Just did 2 damage
just
to
did
you.
2 damage.
I'd be a little annoyed if somebody shot the side of my TIE Fighter with their tugboat. Players are planning this turn out. It appears that Jim Frank is done. Tom Arnold's holding 1 final dial.
Yep, Jim debating whether or not to go after Fen or the tugboat that just disgraced Omega Leader.
And strangely enough, Jim's in a spot where he might be able to put multiple shots on that tugboat. A hard left out of the Omega Leader, a bank left, or a straight possibly, but I'd bank left personally out of Vessery.
Yeah. Yeah, Vessery. Yeah, definitely. You know, it looks like with his ships, he can pretty much decide who he wants to go after and then do it.
2 straight out of that quad jumper. Gonna try a tractor beam here.
That's right. Yeah, there's nothing Mega Leader can do about that because the tugboat moves first.
And right on a rock.
Ooh.
It is blank, so no rock damage. But if Tom didn't plan for that, who knows where Omega Leader is headed?
Yeah, he might go right past the Jakku Gunrunner.
Vessery going 3 straight. That TIE Defender is a little cocked on its base, so it looked like it was aiming slightly down to the left. It was not. It was completely to the left.
Oh, yeah, it's it's looking left compared
It's a little
to the base.
tipsy. Focus evade there. The evade coming from the X7 title.
Omega Leader is returning from happy hour.
Ventress, hard right. That is a green maneuver, so it clears the push stress. Gonk to regen a shield. So Asajj Ventress gets a shield back. Gonna push the limit to move the firing arc. Oh. 2 hard left from the TIE FO.
Yeah, right past the Gunrunner.
So Omega Leader will end up past that Gunrunner.
And that And a Mega Leader does not have a rear-facing arc.
No, he does not.
Unlike the Special Forces ties. So if that had been Backdraft, this would be a much different story.
Moves the target lock to the Gunrunner. Backdraft with a 3 bank maneuver. Oh.
Ooh.
For a minute, I thought that maybe the Asajj Ventress wouldn't have anything to shoot at. It was awfully nice of Tom to prove me wrong if you're on Jim Frank's side of this table.
Yeah, it still looks like it's going to be at least a range 2. But
there's a part of me looking at it from Tom's perspective that would have been tempted to, like, hard left turn away from Asajj Ventress and towards that tug.
Yeah, that or go straight and just aim for Fen.
Because now he has inadvertently ended up in a kill box, hasn't he? Because Fen Rao just went hard right turn, facing back into the battlefield. I mean, it is currently an obstructed shot at Backdraft, but still have a couple of actions coming from Jim Frank here.
Yeah, I suppose at least Backdraft has the rear arc, so if Backdraft decides to, he could shoot at the Jakku Gunrunner if he's close enough.
Jim Frank has that barrel roll down there. Just trying to decide where it lines up at, and he finds a spot he likes. It does not appear to have given him any range on Colonel Vessery, but he is just going to boost now. Not a legal boost.
I'm almost thinking, should he boost forward straight and get up there? Or, oh, yep, he's going to do that.
Since he couldn't boost left, he's going to boost forward. So that'll put a stress token on Fen Rao. It's going to mean a range 1 attack at Backdraft.
And that will be inside of Backdraft's rear arc, I think, which is right where Fen Rao wants to be.
So Asajj Ventress assigns the stress token to Backdraft. Fen Rao with a range 1 attack at Backdraft here. A lot of dice.
Ooh, that looks
There's a lot of paint on the table. 2 hits, 2 crits.
1 evade.
1 evade. So that'll wipe the shields off of Backdraft. Down to 3 hull and 0 shields. At the 8s. Omega Leader has nothing to shoot at. Backdraft has a range 2 shot at Ventress. Or a range 3 rear arc, but it's range 3 at the tugboat through a rock.
Yeah, through that rock by Vessery. Well, yeah, because here it's, do you want to focus fire? Or Jim's been doing a very good job at splitting up his forces and kind of forcing Tom to fire at multiple ships instead of focus fire on one.
And you see Tom there leaning over that table. He is not yet chosen. He's firing out both of them.
Oh, he's doing the
2 dice out the front shot.
I think that's Backdraft's ability? Or no, that's Special Ops training.
That is Backdraft's ability.
Oh.
Re-rolling with the target lock. Only 1 hit.
Yeah, 1 dodge.
Yeah, so Special Ops is the reason we're going to do 2 out the front.
Okay.
So we're getting an auto crit on this 3 out the back.
That's right. The auto crit
we will
is
focus this and have hit, crit, crit.
Okay, yeah, the auto crits from Backdraft and the multiple shots from Special Ops. That's right.
1 evade from the tugboat. So 2 crits coming face up here. Stunned pilot. Structural damage, taking agility off that ship. So now that tugboat's down to what, 1 agility? Isn't it 2 base? Because this was range 3 through a rock, so we got 4 dice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I forget how many green dice it has.
4 die attack here. Only 1 die. I don't think that that's living.
Oop, we gotta focus. So that...
The gun runner is going to take 3 hits and a crit.
And is very much dead.
And it is way space dust. So the Jakku Gunrunner becomes the first dead ship on this table. Tom Arnold had a pretty solid turn there. Asajj Ventress, range 2 at Backdraft here. Only 1 hit there. 1 evade from Tom Arnold on those green dice. So in this round, Backdraft lost all of its shields, but Jakku Gunrunner died.
Very dead. Then I don't think Asajj ended up taking anything from that.
Asajj took nothing, and I think Asajj Ventress actually has a shield back from a gonk earlier.
That's right, because Asajj has gonk.
Omega Leader, who lost 2 damage in the previous round, didn't get fired at this time. Backdraft, of course, did. Colonel Vessery did not, so Jim hasn't really picked a target here yet. That dead gun runner means no more shenanigans with tractor beams.
Yeah, no more putting ships onto the rock. At least that easily.
So Tom Arnold takes the first ship off the table here by killing Jakku Gunrunner. Where does that put him? I mean, Omega Leader's at half health, Backdraft's at half health.
Yeah, I think he's doing pretty well, especially since all of Tom's ships have a lot of green dice. So they're more, I want to say, more survivable than a lot of Jim's. I mean, Fen Rao has 3 dice and is pretty okay at that as well. But since it doesn't have any shields or anything, it's pretty easy to get crits through that could really mess some things up. I think that probably the easiest target, well, the easiest thing for Tom to take down is going to be Asajj, just because of large base and not as much agility. But at this point, at this point in the game, it's looking like he might go after Fen just because that's where all his ships are right now.
Well, and we'll set the stage here for you. That Omega Leader on the left-hand side of your screen is facing downwards on your screen, not aimed at anything right now. Colonel Vessery is facing to the left, where there's nothing to shoot at right now. That Backdraft is facing up and to the right towards Asajj Ventress.
So yeah, I'm wondering,
Colonel Vessery with a hard left turn here.
So yeah, I don't think he would have made the 4K turn.
I don't think he's going to make the hard left either. I think he's about to bump into Omega Leader. And it is a bump. How much that hurts him really depends on where Fen Rao comes, yes?
Yeah, I think so. If Fen's going to turn right and boost up to get in range,
you have to think Fen is just going to attack Backdraft, though, yes?
Yeah, he's right next to Backdraft, and Backdraft is going away from him. So, and with that rear arc, he gets his special things, or Fen gets the special things being in that rear arc. So he kind of wants to stay behind Backdraft and chew him apart.
Asajj Ventress goes target lock Backdraft, boost focus. Backdraft with a 2 hard right. That is a white maneuver on Backdraft. I believe that means Backdraft keeps a stress token.
A lot of tokens following Backdraft there.
A barrel roll here because of what?
Probably to get behind that rock to make it
primed thrusters. There we go.
Oh yeah,
I was trying to remember why he can do this with the stress token.
Yeah, that would be the prime thrusters.
And a 1 hard from Omega Leader to the left there.
Yeah, maybe hoping for a shot at Fen.
Gets that evade token back. Fenrow 2 turn to the right. Wow.
Oh.
I really thought that Backdraft would be the target there. Or maybe Jim has so much faith in his dice that Asajj Ventress will do this Backdraft job alone.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to get them both at the same time here.
Greedy.
And we'll see if the dice let it pay off. Oh, boosting into that range 1.
Boosting straight. That's going to be range 1 for both of them.
Yeah, that's the arc. When they're both in the arcs, that's where Fen wants to be. I guess that's where Fen is designed to be. So then he gets the Conquered Dawn and Fenrow's add another dice, so he'll have 5 red dice being thrown at Omega Leader.
Another stress on Backdraft from Asajj Ventress. Fenrow, range 1 to Omega Leader. Gotta think this is bad for Omega Leader. This is a lot of dice.
You can hear them all just, woo.
Five hits.
Ooh.
Omega Leader can't live through it. Oh, okay. Omega Leader could have lived through that. He had an evade token. He just would have needed 3 green dice to actually work.
He didn't get any of those, did he?
He got 1.
He got 1.
So, Omega Leader goes the way of the Jakku Gunrunner. Both these pilots have lost 1 ship now. Backdraft, range 1 at Asajj Ventress. Spending a target lock to reroll 3 of them. We've got 3 hits there. 2 evades from Jim Frank, folks.
He's pretty good at getting 2 evades.
Loses the shield. So still at 6 hull. Lost the shield he got back from Gonk. Asajj Ventress range 1 at Backdraft. Target locking the blank to re-roll it here. Spends the focus for 4 hits. Two evades, 2 hits on Backdraft. They're both regular hits. Backdraft will have 1 hull point left now.
Yep, and if it does, as most ties tend to do, it's going to be running around with that 1 hull for a long time.
So, that round of combat sees Omega Leader go down. Sees Asajj Ventress lose a shield. Sees Backdraft lose 2 hull. I feel like this flipped all of a sudden from how I felt 2 turns ago.
It most certainly did. This is a very, very good game, very fun game to watch. It could go either way here.
That Asajj Ventress of Jim Franks is a tough nut to crack for Imperials. Yes, they don't throw a lot of red dice.
Yeah, it's got the I think 2, it might be 3. No, it's got 3. Asajj has 3.
Yeah, Shadowcaster has 3 greens.
Yeah,
which is weird to me. I don't know how waffle irons fly that well.
They just keep making waffles and eat the waffles, maybe.
Maybe it's like flares, but they throw waffles.
Yeah, and they're hot, so heat-seeking things go towards the waffles.
Tom Arnold's dials are down. Jim Frank's dials are down. Both players, of course, are back to only 2 dials now. It's a hard turn from Colonel Vessery. Gets an evade token from the X7 title. Tom debating in action here. I guess before you can really think about that action, you got to think to yourself, where will Fen Rao be? Where will Fen Rao be at?
Well, he is stressed, so I assume he's going to do something green or maybe risky in white. But, man, I don't know what I would do if I were Fen Rao here, because it's always awkward after you get to that range 1. Because afterwards, like, well, now what? I'm still alive.
So a hard turn to the right there from Asajj Ventress. Just right over that asteroid. Who cares? Shadowcaster, that's a green maneuver. Roll for Rock. Rock did not do any damage. Backdraft. With a 2 hard to the left. It's going to give Backdraft a rear arc shot at Asajj Ventress.
That didn't clear any stress, though, so no actions.
And probably going to take a 3rd one here.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Does have the prime thrusters, so he can still barrel roll.
Yep, still gets a barrel roll.
Because he doesn't have 3 or more stress. Once he gets the 3rd, he won't be able to do that anymore.
Fen Rao, 2 straight. Will not clear. That's going to hit Vessery.
Yeah, I suppose that's... Yeah, I guess that's probably the best thing to do, because then you're not getting shot at, and you clear the stress.
I don't think the Vessery wanted to shoot at Fen Rao.
Yeah, not from where it's
Vessery
at.
wants to shoot at Asajj Ventress here.
Yeah, try and take down the last 6 points.
There's a 3rd stress assigned to Backdraft. Fen Rao with nothing to shoot at. Backdraft, rear arc, range 2. Gets an auto crit. Rolls 2 dice. Use the target lock to reroll a pair of blanks. Doesn't matter. 1 crit is all we're going to get. And 1 evade. Colonel Vessery. Oh, we just bumped another thing. It is a range 2 attack from Colonel Vessery at Asajj Ventress. Target lock reroll. Hitting a crit is all we're going to get after all of that. 1 evade means a crit on Asajj Ventress. There's a console fire.
Yeah, so Saj is probably going to want to have to flip that down before the start of the next combat phase. You don't want to have to be rolling for free damage.
2 hits on Backdraft. Backdraft does not get the 2 evades. Gets 0.
Ooh.
And Backdraft is dead.
Well, we've got a full health Vessery remaining for Tom, which it could still pull it off.
Just doesn't feel very good, though.
If there's one ship I would choose to be the last ship standing in Tom's list, it would be Vessery.
Oh, okay. In Tom's list, I was going to say it would be Soontirfell, but thank you.
Oh, well. In Tom's list.
Which is missing Soontirfell, and therefore is a defective Imperial list.
That is so like 2 years
2
ago.
years ago? I know, right? Let's talk about the last time I was good at X-Wing.
Also 2 years ago.
Also 2 years ago. Let's actually talk about the last time I got to play X-Wing.
Also
2 years
2
ago.
years ago.
If you want to really enjoy gaming as a hobby, I recommend that you don't run a game store.
Yeah, I mean, sounds about right. Probably get burnt out. Yeah.
Yes. Some days it just get burnt. Colonel Vessery, 3 hard left here.
Woo. Going for a block on Asajj, maybe. Or hoping Asajj turns to the right.
An evade from the X7 title and a Focus token. Pretty solid block there. Jim Frank extending that template there to figure out where Asajj goes.
Oh.
And the waffle iron comes off. Players agree that that looks good enough for government work.
All right, let's see where Fenn ended up. Is that the 2 Talon roll?
We have a result.
Aha! It is the 2 Talon roll.
Tyson Sparks is in the finals.
Aho! Tyson Sparks.
Tyson has won his semifinal match. He will face the winner of this match for the right to call himself a store champion. Tyson has won the store championship at Total Escape Games before.
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Tyson has won here before.
I think I was there.
Oh, wait. Tyson won a regionals here. Not
Yeah.
a store championship? Maybe both.
I think both. Both.
I'm
sound
getting
right.
old, and this game has been around long enough that I can't remember everything that's gone on with it now.
Yeah, Tyson's been to a lot of tournaments here.
Oh, so Fen Rao turned around while we weren't paying attention, has a range 2 shot at Colonel Vessery.
Yeah, he did the 2 Talon roll. So he's stressed, but he's got a
Hitting a crit. Spends the focus for 3 evades.
Oh, we can actually see where Asajj's arc is pointing now.
Yes, we can.
It is up.
But Asajj is pointing to the left when she's on her base.
Right. So Asajj, the primary arc is forward. Or, duh. The primary arc
Primary arc is always forward. Thank
is
you.
towards the left right now.
That's the secondary arc. I thought that they always had primary forward arc and could move the turret.
Wait.
Yeah,
Well,
see? Come on, Adam.
No,
Primary
no,
arc is forward.
No, it's left, pointing left towards the left side of the screen. I guess what I'm trying to say. Primary is pointing towards the
As
left.
players are planning here, they've got about 9.5 minutes left in this round. So the clock is now working against Tom Arnold here.
Yeah, so it looks like Jim has a few more points on the board. So I don't think. Yeah, I think I'm guessing. Well, I don't know how many points that is, but
Colonel Vessery with a 3 bank. I'm just under the assumption that backdraft is the most expensive thing on Tom's side of the table.
I think so. With
And the gunrunner is the cheapest thing
Yep.
on Jim Frank's side of this table.
I think you are correct.
So Tom Arnold's Colonel Vessery is 38 points left on the table, is what I'm being told. Oh, Vessery's more expensive than backdraft.
Oh.
Yeah, Vessery's 38, backdraft's 32 there. But Tom's got 38 points left on the table. I have to assume, because mathing, that Fen Rao and Asai Ventress are more than 38 points left on the table.
Oh, so he cleared past Asajj.
So Asajj Ventress is 46. Fen Rao is 34.
Ah, he's got so Jim's still got a lot of points on the table.
So that's 20 points of Jakku Gunrunner that died. And Fen Rao has just solidly put himself, I don't know. They make these things up. On Vessery's 6 there. Console Fire. Console Fire does damage.
Oh.
So, Asajj Ventress to 4 hull left. Fen Rao, range 1 at Colonel Vessery. Spending a target lock, putting 2 hits in the box. Oh my god. 3 hits, 2 crits.
That is what Fen wanted.
Vessery with 2 green evade dice and a 3rd from the token.
Oh, takes 1.
Takes 2 shields.
Wait.
He flipped one of them to an evade to represent the token.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That went less poorly than I expected it to.
Yeah.
Colonel Vessery loses 2 shields in that exchange. Asajj Ventress lost a hull point to Console Fire, so Tom did some damage without ever firing a gun.
Yeah, not too shabby. It's always nice when you can get some free damage.
The Twitch channel is asking again, so they were gone, I guess, when we announced a moment ago that Tyson Sparks has defeated Willie Glassman and will play the winner of this game in our finals. Hard 3 to the left from Asajj Ventress. As an action, he will flip that Console Fire and remove the little marker token for himself. Asajj Ventress was not going to have any shots this turn.
Unless Fen goes...
Colonel Vessery made a K-turn, I think. Yes, his forward arc is now facing Fen Rao.
Yep. And let's see if he goes for the boost.
It's very Soontir-Felly. I get to boost and barrel roll.
Yeah, it's the Soontir-Fel of the Scum faction, but less good.
But less good, because everybody's less good than Soontir-Fel. Boost followed by push the limit to take a focus token. Fen Rao range 1 at Colonel Vessery. 3 hits. Spends the focus token for 3 evades.
Ooh.
Interesting. He had 1 natural evade there. He could have gone evade token, natural evade, saved the focus for this attack. One hit in those 4 dice.
Wow.
5 evades. Do you need an evader 3?
You don't. Yeah.
Wow.
You don't see that very often.
Well, and that is, I think, this game in a nutshell right here.
Looks like they just call it.
With 4.5 minutes left in the game, MOV doesn't matter. Tom Arnold does not feel like he can win this game. He congratulates Jim Frank. MOV doesn't matter. Tom Arnold has decided he cannot win this match in the remaining 4 minutes. Jim Frank defeats Tom Arnold in the semifinals. He will face Tyson Sparks in the finals of the X-Wing Store Championships live from Total Escape Games. For Adam Katnig and Joe Mazzotti, I'm John Stevens, and we will be back with you in about 10 minutes.